इंटरव्यू तो क्रैक कर लेंगे, रिज्यूमे शॉर्टलिस्ट कैसे करवाएं? I recently got this comment on one of my videos, and honestly, I felt it. Because if the resume doesn't get shortlisted, the rest doesn't even begin, right? Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the resume that got me shortlisted at Google and other companies. But more importantly, I'll also be sharing some tips and things that I've learned over the years. Because whether your resume gets shortlisted or not, the goal is to keep improving and never stop trying. So let's dive in. So now let's start with my resume. This is what my resume looked like, and let's start from the top of it. So the first thing should be your name, followed by your contact details, your email, LinkedIn, and putting a contact number is optional. Then it should be followed by this education section, which must contain your college name, the branch in which you are pursuing your BTech, and your latest CGPA. I've seen people skipping their CGPA, but it's better to put it in your resume because some companies do put a criteria in terms of CGPA. And then you must add your expected graduation year. So I've added it here, May 2025. And then you can enter your 12th and 10th grade results, followed by the years of completion. Then comes the experiences section. Don't worry if you don't have any prior experience of an internship, especially if in your first, second years of your college. You can enter any experience that you may have had in your college. For example, if you are a member of any tech society and there you organized some event, hackathon, or some workshop, then you can add it here. So it's advised to add 2 to 3 experiences, and you must highlight some important things. First is the company name, followed by the type of internship that you did, basically your role. So I have entered it here, software engineering intern. Then the key technologies and or the key skills that you used during your internship, some new things that you learned, or any technologies that you have used, you can add it here. And you should also add the time when you were doing this internship, the year. uh, and then you should have some key points explaining your impact and the work that you did. So for example, some statements like led a backstage POC and contributed to company's 99.99% availability target. That shows my work as well as the impact of my work. And adding numbers in your resume is a good thing because they increase your ATS score, right? Then yeah, for other 2 internships also I have done a similar thing. I followed a similar pattern. Basically you have to summarize your work in 3 to 4 points, right? And don't add any vague statements. So yeah, then you can also add your internship completion certificate if you have one. It's better, like it's a proof that you actually did an internship. Then comes the project section. So you must have 2 to 3 good projects that you can enter in your resume. And for project also, you need to highlight some key things, the project name. You must have some relevant links like the source code, website link, design doc, or any other presentation link, or anything basically which showcase your project, right? And then you can have this key skills line, basically what technologies or tech stack you use to make this project. Okay, so this will like highlight your experience with various technologies. And then in 2 to 3 points you must summarize your project, because if someone is looking at your resume, they might not open the link sometimes. So they should be able to read this summary and understand what your project does. So yeah, this is important. And then followed by the skill set section. So I have divided and categorized it in various sections like programming languages, database, relevant coursework, soft skills. And this relevant coursework are some important courses that I did in my college. Then soft skills. And one thing is, don't add anything in your resume randomly. Only add those things just so you can expect questions in your interview. Okay, and for soft skills also, don't add it randomly. They may ask you questions like, tell us a time where you showcased your leadership or where you managed your time well, so be prepared for questions on anything in your resume. So don't put anything, put the things just may you are confident and you can expect questions and you can answer them in your interviews, right? Then you can add your achievements. So in achievements you can add any hackathons you participated in. It's not necessary that you put only those hackathons in which you won. You can also add hackathons in which you participated, any if you received some academic awards. For example, I received merit scholarship, so I have added it here. Then you can also add your roles and responsibilities kind of things here, like if you are coordinator of any tech society or any cultural society in your college. Sometimes in HR interviews or cultural fit round, they may ask you questions from here, right? And then you must enter your coding profile links. Again, I have seen people skipping these links, but it's better if you put them because it basically shows your growth, your consistency, and basically they'll make your resume actionable. So it's better you add them. So yeah, this was it. So one thing that I would like to advise, especially first and second year students, is to start preparing your resume, because कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि when we prepare a resume and we look that, oh, our resume looks empty, we don't have many things to put in it. So that will be a starting point for you to start doing things. And for first and second year students, you might not have many experiences. So instead of this thing that I have used a column for skill set and achievements, you can have one column layout, skill set then followed by achievements in a separate row, so that your resume doesn't look empty. So now coming to some tips. So as I said earlier also, don't send same resume everywhere. You need to tailor your resume. So you can use keywords from the job description, because ATS, which is the applicant tracking system, it searches for some specific keywords which are in the job description in your resume. So for example, if the job description mentions that experience with REST APIs, SQL and cloud platforms, then you can have something like this in your resume. But don't fake it, include only those keywords which you are confident with. Second is show impact, not just effort. So recruiters want to see the difference your work made. So instead of, for example, instead of writing something like this, worked on front end using React, you can write something like this. And instead of writing managed databases, you can write something like this. So the thing is, use better keywords. They will increase your ATS scores, and for these keywords obviously you can use AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini to write these things for you. Then third is obviously your resume should be clean and readable. It should have a well-defined structure, and don't include too many colors. It doesn't look good and professional. Last thing is include links. As I said, it must have your LinkedIn profile links, your GitHub link, your coding profile links, your project links, because these links will show your work, your consistency, your growth over time, right? And these links will only make your resume actionable. Whether you are in your first year or in final year, your resume does not have to be perfect from the day one. Mine also evolved a lot, but the key is, keep updating it, learn how to present your work, focus on clarity and impact. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more real talk and resources. And I have put this resume template in docs format in the description, so you can access it from there and edit it if you want. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box. And remember, every big offer starts from one resume. Just make sure yours is ready. Bye bye. We'll meet in the next video.